The junction of mandibular minor connector with major connector is, and the options are butt type joint, acrylic forms the joint, ball and socket joint, and there is no joint. Okay, this is easier with the options. The difficult options would be 90 degree, less than 90 degree, more than 90 degree, any of the above. So I will try to explain you what the question is first. So mandibular minor connector. So minor connectors are basically the smaller components that connect the clasp to major connector, the rest to major connector, the teeth to major connector, or the indirect retainer to major connector. Now in this image over here, this is a rest, this is a guide plane, okay, and this is a minor connector. This is a minor connector. Minor connector from the rest connecting the major connector, and from the guide plane to the major connector. And here on the side is the lattice, which is going to connect teeth to major connector with the help of acrylic. Okay, so the junction, the angle between this minor connector and the major connector here, this is the major connector. What should be the angle? Now here, specifically in the question, the options are such that they are talking about acrylic. Okay, junction of mandibular minor connector with major connector, mandibular firstly, and in terms of acrylic or in terms of any other minor connectors, we need to understand that the junction here is where the acrylic is going to come, is going to be nearly 90 degrees. Okay, 90 degrees means butt type joint. Now if you have a 90-degree joint, it is easier for acrylic to flow in and form a strong joint in that area. So let's just run through the explanation and try to understand what's being explained. So the junction of mandibular minor connector with the major connector should be strong butt type joint, that is 90 degrees. Okay, so this means 90 degree without any appreciable bulk. So it should not appear very bulky. The angle formed at the junction of the connector should not be greater than 90 degree, thus ensuring that the most advantageous and strongest mechanical connection is produced. So here in this image, we see that there is a finishing line at the junction of ladder-like minor connector. So this is the finishing line, okay? And the junction, this when you just enlarge this, the angle between this major connector and this minor connector, here it's 90 degree. Okay, so the correct answer here should be option number 1, butt type joint.